Henry's Chatterbox, episode 19. Today's date is March the 6th, 2026. 2026. And let's see, I'm lost here. Henry's Chatterbox comes to you from an outside building in my side yard in Newport Richey, Florida. We talk about life topics. We do not talk about politics. We are not professionals. We try to have clean and good, wholesome chats. We discuss a specific topic every episode. My name is Henry, and with me today is Randy.
Hi.
Hi. And something new we're starting today. At the beginning of every episode, we're going to recite the Lord's Prayer. So let's do that now. You're going to do it with Our
Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day this daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Amen.
Lead us, well, and there's more I'm seeing. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Thank you for joining us. Just a quick recap on last week's. We talked a little bit about phobia, but I won't get into why, but we ended up having a short session. We were talking about phobias, and one of the things we realized, and we're going to continue with that today, is that there is a difference between fearing something, a fear, and a phobia. And we get to that in a little while. Before we get started, though, on that, before we get started, let's go to Randy for a bit of advertising.
All right, first things first is going to be.
You don't want me, you told me.
Oh, yeah, go for that.
Randy told me to do this, and then please be aware that the advertisement you are about to hear does not necessarily express the personal views and or opinions of the members of this show, this episode, whatever. Anyway, so here's Randy.
All right, our first advertisement today is from Skit Trivia. Skit Trivia is written by Henry Berner. You can find Skit Trivia at www.amazon.com/author/Henry Berner, spelled HenryBerner. And that's once again Skit Trivia and is available on Amazon. Our next advertisement is Rumble Wallet. Rumble Wallet. It's your money. It's your rights, your freedom. Why let big banks and the government dictate to you? They can freeze your accounts, take your house, shut down your credit, and completely, utterly ruin your life. Why give them that power? That's why Rumble Wallet exists. It's your money, your right, your freedom. Use it how you want, and you can even pay your favorite content creators through the Rumble Wallet app, as long as they have a Rumble account themselves. Our third advertisement is for my personal podcast, Stoner Nation Cannabis Lifestyle and Marijuana Tips. Every Friday, we have the live episode on Rumble, YouTube, and everywhere you're spotted, and Facebook, and that's it for the live. But you can find us there. Now, our last one is for W Energy. If you need your energy after a long day at work, or if you're mid-shift, get some W's Energy, and you can get that at w.gg. And use promo code Randolph Small for 30% off.
Done. Thank you, Randy. Now, today is our discussions about phobias and fears, and I just want to read this little statement about how to identify the two. Fear is a normal, temporary response to real danger, while a phobia is an intense, irrational, and lasting anxiety about a specific trigger that disrupts daily life and functioning. and I've seen people with both of these, and they're, it's kind of interesting. But ugh, let's see, some of the things people scared of, and I have trouble identifying which one goes in which category. So I'm not going to really give you much on that. One of the fears, or phobia, is open water. There are some people that's actually scared of water if they can't see the bottom, because a friend of mine told me he had this, what's it called again, Randy? Fear of water?
Thalassophobia or something like that.
Glass, whatever.
Thalassos, it starts with a TH or something like that.
Oh,
it just means wide open water.
Wide open water. Well, my friend that told me he had it, I said, but you've been to the gym when I was there and you've gotten the pool there. I thought I caught him on a lie. But anyway, he said no, because in a pool you can see the bottom. He said that's
I got that big fear.
Difference. You got it.
I got that fear, and it's 100% justified. I don't even know why they call it a phobia. And the reason why is because I live in Florida. I live around water. I know what's in that water, and I know if I can't see it, I'm dead.
Well, I don't know if you would call it a fear with me or not, but I won't get in the water at the beach anymore. And I used to, I still like to go to the beach and watch the waves coming in. I sit on the bench there. It's very relaxing. But I used to get in the water and let the waves push me or rub up against me, and I loved it. But now with some of the things that's going on, I've developed a fear. I don't know if you'd call it a phobia or not. It's not disrupting my life. I go to the beach. I just don't get in the water, because I'm very uncomfortable with it. I mean, there's been a few cases where sharks got people. What you start to
I was
say?
Gonna say, I mean, like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. The number one thing that we're taught in Florida, and this is probably why a lot of Floridians most likely have this fear, but yet somehow don't pay attention to it when they go out fishing on boats. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the first thing we're taught about, if there's water, there's something in there that's gonna eat you.
I like that.
If you can't see the bottom, you are lunch. If you cannot see it, you are lunch.
I won't get in the water at the beach.
I'm just saying, that's how we're raised. So yeah, a lot of Floridians, I guarantee you, have a big fear of wide open water where you can't see the bottom.
Right. I would never be a lifeguard. Open water and bugs. And I think, and this is just my opinion, I think bugs is a real common fear or phobia. Weeds.
Insect phobia. Insect phobia.
Insect phobia. And now weeds. I don't like to walk in a lot of weedy areas. I'm always afraid there might be a snake or something there. And
that's an interesting thing, because that is an actual phobia with a little bit of fear, but you're not actually afraid of the weeds. Because you know what the definition of weed is? A plant growing where you don't want it.
Oh, really?
So, in all actuality, if you're out in the middle of the woods and you're walking down a trail on like a park, and you're not afraid of the weed itself, because it's not a weed. It's supposed to be there. Nature wants it there.
Okay.
You may not want it there, but nature does.
Yeah, I see.
So, with that being stated, you're not afraid of the plants itself. You're afraid of what's hitting them. So you actually, have the fear of the concept of being bit or attacked by said
well put. Because that is exactly it. It's not the weed.
A lot of people misconstrued saying, "Oh, I'm afraid of weeds," but yet when they're in their yard and they see like the same type of plant in their yard, like you have sawgrass.
Mm-hmm.
That's classified as a weed in a lot of people's yards. But when you go to a national park or a state park here in Florida, that is a protected plant in those parks.
Makes sense.
I mean, and there's snakes in that, so what you're really afraid of is a snake.
The next one I got on my list is dogs. Dogs. I won't go for a walk in my neighborhood because people let their dogs run loose. And there's one person that's got a vicious looking dog, fenced in, but it looks like if it wanted to, it could come over that fence. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. I don't want to find out. I'm very uncomfortable walking. I just have a very uneasy feeling about someone's dog, because people say their dog don't bite, when it's like, you know what, the dog won't bite you, but that don't mean it won't bite me.
No,
And
Trooper doesn't bite because of the fact
well,
that
now
we love it.
Trooper, your dog I'm used to, but I was very nervous when I first met your dog.
I know.
And then Trooper said, "I won't bite you, Henry," and I
Yeah, all he'll do is lick you to death.
yeah,
Literally.
right. But he has a really cute, good dog named Trooper. Um, a lot of things, and other things, just over the years, I was to get ready for this. I was thinking of things in the past that might have scared me, and everybody can probably relate to this. At one time, you might have been scared of losing your job because you called out too much, or you called out sick and you went to a nightclub and your boss was at the nightclub, so they know you wasn't.
No, that's when
sick.
you truly have
And
it.
you're like, oh my gosh,
That's when
gonna lose my job tomorrow. I saw you at that club, you're fired.
no, that's when you really get in. That's when you really have the right to be scared.
That's when you have right.
But the worst time of it is when your boss turns around and looks at you, parties with you, or hangs out with you, and then they turn around and look at you when you come back in the next day and turn around and say, "My office now." That's when you know you're done.
That's right. And you know, and sometimes you maybe don't make a deadline or you mess up, or you're like, oh my gosh. Or you get called in the office. Henry, the administrator, wants to see you. What does he want? I don't know what he wants, but he sounded pretty mad. Well, maybe he was mad about something else. Anyway, it ends up being nothing. Um, I think over my life, I've maybe lost 2 jobs. Not like that, but
Mate, it can't be no worse than that CEO
you know,
that was caught.
well, if you call out too many times, you know.
Listen. The worst fear that can happen about you thinking about to lose your job is that dude from the Blink-182 or the U2 concert with the CEO with his secretary.
Yeah.
No, that's when you have the right to be fully scared because you're gonna die.
Well,
Tom,
you
your wife's gonna murder you.
You know, and a lot of times it's just a normal thing that you worry about your job. Like, what if something happens? You know, you might get laid off. They're not mad at you or anything, but maybe they've cut down.
Or the company's going out.
You know, and it is. And I think that's a real. I don't think I had a phobia with. I'm retired now, but I don't think I had a phobia with it. But it was something always in the back of your head, like, you know, I better be ready in case something was to happen. Phone calls. And I've talked to a lot of people that's done this. Whenever the phone rings, you kind of tense up. Wonder who that is. Is it a bill collector? Who is it? And most phone calls, according to a friend of mine, he said most phone calls that he gets is people wanting him to do something or they're giving him bad news or something. He said he's never had anyone call him and say, "Hey, it's me. I'm just calling to see if you need a few dollars. I can give you a few dollars if you need." No, it's always the opposite. "Hey man, I'm in a jam. Can you give me a few dollars?" But I don't know. Or they are now sometimes they're inviting you to a party or something, and it kind of puts you on the spot because you maybe don't want to go. But phone calls, you know, I kind of tense up when I get a phone call. I kind of like, oh, I wonder what it is.
I know. I start screaming and cussing, especially when I see who's calling the caller.
When you see
mother, come on, beat this. Call me again. I'll find out where you live. I swear I will end you. Leave me alone.
Well, my phone it'll say scam likely a lot of times if I get some of the phone.
And you still answer it.
And they are so annoying. Those calls. Hi, Henry. I'm from to help you make your funeral arrangements. I'm not dead yet, you know. You people used to call me and ask me if I wanted to go to college. Now you're calling me and asking me if you could help with my funeral.
Yeah, do you want life insurance or not?
Yeah, life insurance, all that. And I usually hang up on them. Let's see, phone calls. food offered. I've got food offered in there. I hate to be invited to somebody's house for dinner, and I worry about what are they having for dinner because I'm a very
Picky,
weird, for
picky
lack of a
eater.
better word. Well, I don't think I like what I like, and what I don't like, I don't like.
Yeah, that's called a
And if
picky
you're
eater.
going to give me, if you're going to invite me for dinner and give me something that's got shrimp and onions, and I don't want to hurt your feelings. But I now, if I invite someone for dinner, I tell them exactly what I'm going to make, and because I respect that. But a lot of times, people will, oh come on, you'll like this. And what really gets me, and it doesn't scare me more than it annoys the crap out of me, is when somebody says, uh, when I say what's in it, and they say, well, it's got a little onion in it, but you can't taste them. It's got shrimp in it, but you can't taste it. Like, what do you mean I can't? Why are you putting a bunch of stuff you can't taste in your meatloaf or whatever you're making? And anyway, I have and I don't know if that's really a fear. I think it's more of something that makes me uncomfortable to not know what a person's cooking. Germ phobia. I don't have a germ phobia. I mean, I'm a clean person. I wash my hands, and when I'm going to prepare food, or when necessary to wash my hands. But I'm not just absolutely crazy. Like, oh, I touched the doorknob. Now I got to put bleach on my hands before I bake the meatloaf or whatever. But I know a few people that are, and they tell me they're germophobias. Flying now. Uh, Randy, you don't like the fly, do you?
Hell no.
Would you say you have a phobia?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like flying, and my phobia is not actually a phobia. I'm going to turn around and say right here, right now, anyone who thinks flying is safer than any other means of travel is an idiot.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but I'm uncomfortable with flying. I enjoy it, but I always have that little fear in me. I went to a funeral in Ohio. It's been over a year ago. I lose track of time anymore, but I know it's been over a year. And I flew there, and I was uncomfortable, but I got there and back okay. Um, but I mean, a Greyhound bus could be just as bad. Driving could be bad, but I flew and I was okay. But I'm just not real comfortable with flying. Let's see what else have I. Um, this is probably a common one that then everyone could relate to. You come home from somewhere and you put things away, and you've got a couple items in your car that you go in your house and you say, well, I'll finish unloading the car in a few minutes, and you sit down and rest, and then you decided, you know what, I'll unload the car in the morning. I'll just go lock it, but you forget to lock it, and you go to bed. And as soon as you get comfortable in bed, it pops in your head. I forgot to lock the car. And you're scared that somebody's going to come and steal what you left in the car. Yeah, I left the car in the driveway. I didn't put it in the garage. And you're scared. And the next morning you wake up, you run out to the car and make sure everything, or you leave the keys in the car, and by accident, of course. And you think, oh my gosh, somebody could have stole the car or money. Now I've done that before. Left my wallet in the car while I ran somewhere and back and forgotten. Then it dawned on me, oh my gosh! But then I'd find it was there. So a lot of our fears are or make sense. And if you think about it, we have a lot to be scared of. A lot to be scared of. Um, let's see. somebody I was asking and getting ready for this, I was asking different people about their fears and phobias. One gal told me that she had a fear of plastic bags. She told me first, she said, Henry, you're going to laugh. She said, but I have a fear of plastic bags. I said, what do you mean? You're afraid it's going to blow in your face and stuff? She said, no, touching them. She said, when she won't take a recycled bag, she won't take one from the grocery store. She takes her own bags in. She said, everybody touches those bags. And she said she's just very uncomfortable with them. Uh, I have a friend, and again, this one I wouldn't call it a phobia, but I don't particularly like elevators. If there's stairs right there next to the elevator, I'll go up the stairs. And it's not a phobia. I think with me, it's a realistic uncomfortableness because elevators have got stuck. I was stuck on an elevator one time, and I wasn't supposed to be using it when you're there by yourself, but I was the night shift at a rehab facility. All the clients or residents were in bed, and for some reason, I had to go up on the third floor. And I thought, I don't feel like going up those stairs. I just jumped on the elevator and went up, and can't even remember why I had to go up there. But then when I went back down, it went part way and then it stopped. I'm like, oh my gosh. And finally it worked again. And I thought I ain't doing that no more. But and I have a friend that she will actually change doctors if her doctor moves into a building where he's up where you have to take an elevator because she's in a wheelchair, she can't use the stairs. And she when she makes an appointment to have something done, that's on her list of questions. Are you on the ground floor? I'm in a wheelchair and I will not get on an elevator. I told her to use the escalators, but she said that wouldn't work. um Now, here's something, and I can call it a phobia, I think. Rats. I am terrified of rats and mice. They just flip me out. I will I will leave my house and sleep in my car if there's a rat in my house. Um, but I spray good for that because that if I have any phobias, that would be one that I have. I'm terrified of rats. Um, Randy, you're being awful
No, I
quiet.
was fixing an issue.
Oh, you was fixing the issue.
Yeah.
And you're not terrified of rats, are you?
Hell no.
What about elevators?
Nope.
Nope, you're not scared of them. You don't feel if
Heights,
there's
flying, and open water, deep open water where I can't see the bottom are my three fears.
what are they again?
Heights, flying, and open water.
Oh, okay.
That
Heights.
part is I know how to swim.
I don't like. Speaking of heights, oh my gosh, I'm sure everyone remembers. And now remember, I said earlier I lose track of time. So it's been a few years ago when that building, what was it up by Miami, it just fell down, and that was so weird. And they had people on the news talking. Said I was looking there, and the building just boom fell down all at once. Well, a short time after that, I went to Ohio. Tim was with me, and on the way back, we stopped at a motel, and this motel was 4 stories, and didn't even think about it. The 4 stories. I After I checked in, he handed me a key and told me there take the elevator up to the fourth floor. When you get off the elevator, I said, "Oh my gosh, do you have any on the ground floor?" He said, "No, you're literally taking the last room we have." So I went up there, Tim got in his bed and slept like a baby. I could not sleep. I kept looking out the window. Thought, I hope this building don't fall down. Now that was probably an unrealistic fear, but I had it, and I didn't get much sleep that night. I couldn't wait to get out there the next day. Um, now, some fears we change. We develop fears, or we maybe lose fears over the years. Hey, a poem. Over the years, we lose some of our fears. Um, the One of the fears that I have now that I didn't have years ago was sticking out my thumb and hitchhiking, getting in strangers' cars.
Um,
Anyone does that now, I'm going to tell them you're an idiot. You don't go on the road and just jump in strangers' cars. But I did it all the time. Now I would be terrified to do that.
I just
What?
checked one of our chats, and one of our viewers says that they had a couple fears they wanted to list off.
Okay, let
Fear
it
of
go.
the dark, fear of spiders, arachnophobia, and fear of having open drinks sitting out.
Open dress. I can.
Which I get that's a just fear for a lot of females. 'Cause that's what they're raised on at bars. When they go to bars, is an open drink. Someone could slip, and you walk away for 30 seconds. Someone could slip a damn.
That's.
roofie
I
into your
can.
shit.
I can see the logic in being
Spiders,
scared.
that comes from ancient Greece. The fear of spiders comes from ancient Greece, where the name comes from, because of Greek mythology, and it just stuck, and people actually just find them creepy because of the legs and all that shit.
Yeah.
But fear in the dark, everyone has that.
How old are you? Well, I'm not scared of the dark now, but when I was a child, I was scared of the dark. And this person that just told you on the text, we have people text us if they want to during the live episode. But how old was she? I mean, when she.
I didn't ask.
Well, I mean, was it a grown person or?
Yeah, it was a grown person that messaged me that, so I'm not.
A grown person.
I'm assuming it's a grown person, considering the fact you have to be 13 or older to be on these sites to begin with.
Oh, that's right. I can understand. And that about the open glass, that makes a lot of sense. I don't classify that as a fear, but I wouldn't be comfortable being in a public place like a nightclub or a bar or restaurant and with a group of people and going away and leaving my glass unattended. So I think that
They even teach guys not to do that nowadays.
Not to leave.
Not to leave their glasses out sitting out in the open, unattended, uncovered.
What if you got to go to the bathroom?
Take it with you.
If you pee and hold it.
You guys watch to set it there on the back of that urinal. I don't want to hear that from a man.
Okay.
I don't want to hear that from a man. Those urinals have a flat top. You just set it there. And that's why they're flat, so you can put your drinks there. That way you say, hold my beer, bro.
Okay. Now, I guess if you got someone you can really trust, you could slide your drink to them and say, don't let anyone touch.
Now, they do make safety features for that now, though.
Oh, they do?
They make these little plates, these little cup plates, these little coasters that you can put your drink on there. And let's say you do leave it with a friend or you do turn your back for a couple seconds. You can take that coast because it comes with a pair. You put the other one on top of it, and it will actually show a color if someone roofied your drink based on the condensation.
Really?
It will respond and tell you whether or not someone roofied you or not.
Oh, okay.
Well, so that makes sense. They do have a way to do that because they got tired of all these date rape victims because it never stays in your system, but it stays in the drink because it's not being digested yet. So that's a good way to catch somebody.
Makes sense. Okay. Thank you. What do we call them? A caller or a thank you? What?
A viewer.
Thank you, viewer, for that input. I want to tell you a short story about. Have you ever had two fears, and you had to go with one of them? Now I'm going to tell you what happened to me. I was living in St. Petersburg, Florida. And a friend of mine, they knew somebody they hooked me up with. They paid me to drive a truck This woman had me hook her car up to a U-Haul rental, and the car was hooked up to the U-Haul rental, and she rode in the truck with me, and I drove to Arkansas. I was way back in Arkansas. She was going there to re- renew herself with her husband, and she paid me a couple $100, I think. Anyway, I drove her there, and the deal was that when we got there, her husband would unhook the trailer or would unhook the car from the U-Haul and take me directly to the Greyhound bus station in Hope, Arkansas. Well, we got there and he was drunk and he kept, spend the night, go to my. I said, no, I got to get back to Florida. I want to go home. And the agreement was, well, she paid me, but this was in the middle of nowhere. And he was drunk and he was taking me to Hope, driving down these country roads, and I know he was going over 100 mile an hour, going over these narrow bridges. I almost said, "You stop this car and let me out right now." But then I'm going to be like, I'm here in the middle of nowhere. So I had two very strong things I was scared of, and I was constant watch it. And I mean, I was terrified. We finally got to the Greyhound bus station just in the nick of time for me to catch the bus. And you know what was so weird about that trip? I kept thinking, Hope, Arkansas, I've heard of it, but I couldn't place it. And then as the bus, when I was on the bus, we was leaving, I saw the sign Bill Clinton Avenue or something, and I thought, oh, that's where Bill Clinton's from. That's what
Bill
sounded.
Clinton's Presidential Library, Hope, Arkansas.
So right, so that was interesting.
I'd be in prison if I went to Arkansas.
Oh yeah,
I'd be screaming. I'd be running to every cop there. It's I'd be having fun.
Now the big question is, what? How do you overcome fears? And now let me remind you again: we are not professionals. We're talking. Um, I think, and I'm anxious to hear what Randy thinks, and if anyone else has anything they want to input. I think there's an old saying I heard a long time ago: face your fear and it will disappear, or the only thing to fear is fear itself. Well, I think the first thing you got to do is realize, is your fear or phobia, is it a real thing? Like if you have a fear of something that's not going to hurt you, but it's causing you problems, maybe you need to really do something about it. Um, I don't think I have any real big fears of anything that would would bother me. That is disruptive to my life. Now, if I somebody that has a fear, a germophobia, I think they really have their life disrupted. I think they miss a lot, but that's just my opinion. Do you have any Randy fears?
Well, the best thing I could say about fear is what I forget who said it, but courage is not the absence of fear. Bravery is not the absence of fear. It's how you overcome that fear and use your fear to your advantage.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can overcome it all you want, but if you actually learn how to use that fear to your advantage, you're overcoming it on your own. You're facing it in a way of your own. I mean, it's just a matter of whether or not you can find out how you want to face it. I mean, a lot of people say, okay, I'm just going to go right and do it right now. And then some people go, okay, I'm going to do this instead. Or some people say, I'm going to work on it. I know people that will flat out tell you they're scared to find deep open waters like the ocean. They'll turn around and go out there on a boat and have somebody drop them off and sail 4 miles away and make them swim back to the boat.
Ooh.
Yeah, there are people out there that say that they want to go to another country and they don't want to fly because it's going to cost too much and it's cheaper to sail there, and they know full well they got to go traverse the Pacific, the Atlantic, whatever ocean they're crossing. So they'll go 30 miles offshore and have a friend of theirs with a boat drop them off and with a GPS tracker and have them swim to the boat to get them used to it.
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't do
don't
that.
know.
I couldn't do that because I'm gonna be honest. The second I see shark fins, I'm looking in the water saying, "Where's the one I can't fucking see?"
Now, I don't know if, and I'm going by memory, and so I might not have this just right, but it seems to me like one of the professors when I was took some classes in college said that part of their treatment for germophobics was they took them in a room and they washed their hands before they went in, but then later they was to eat their lunch and they wasn't allowed to wash their hands. They had to eat their lunch. They had to pick the sandwich up and hold it and put it in their mouth and eat it, and then see nothing happened. And so they got used to it. But I don't know if
I'm
I'm
gonna,
remembering that just right or
I'm gonna say let's ask Howard Stern how he got over his germophobia.
oh, I didn't know
That
you.
man is deathly allergic to germs. I'm like, but he got to the point where he can actually start because he's a guest on one of the talent shows.
Uh
I
huh.
think it's America's Got Talent, or he used to be a guest on it. And he used to hug the people. And now when you see him, he's literally doing videos and doing stuff where he's hugging people, sitting next to people, holding their hands, stuff like that. And he was for 50 years at least a germaphobe.
You know, you mentioned hugging people. I don't think I have a fear of hugging people. I'm just not comfortable with it. I mean, and I, you know,
Well,
just people going around hugging it. I don't know, or shaking hands. Now they do the bump. You
the
know,
fist
a lot
bump.
of the fist bump. I mean, if I'm going to hug someone, I want it to be kind of special. But if you go around and hug everyone all the time, there's nothing special about them. I don't know, but I'm not scared of them. I'm not fearful of them. But how you overcome? I think the first thing, and this again just my opinion. I think the first thing you have to decide is a fear or a phobia disrupting my life. Or maybe you have a fear that's not hurting anything. And if you're comfortable in keeping it, keep it. If if you want to. I was gonna say something but I forgot.
I got something I can say.
Okay, let it roll.
I was watching I watch YouTube shorts. Obviously, I mean I doom scroll once in a blue moon,
Uh
but that's actually a fear too. People actually have a fear of doom scrolling, which is kind of funny because that's a new fear that people come up with. But I was watching one and Keanu Reeves said something. Now this may not seem like it has to do with fear. I want you to think about it and think about it as let's say that you're a father or a wife and someone's getting ready to hurt your family.
mm-hmm.
You're a lover, right? You believe that you're not a fighter because you're a lover. Well, Keanu Reeves turned around and said, you can't be a lover and not be a fighter because you have to fight for what you want to protect.
Yeah.
So in the end, most people's greatest fear is to lose what they love.
I don't know what my greatest fear
I'm
would
saying that's the
be.
most is like you're afraid of losing your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter, your mom, something like that. You're
Uh,
afraid of losing somebody that's close to you. That's an instinct fear because you don't know. You sometimes don't even know how you're going to go on after they're gone. Like with you,
yeah.
when Tim left, I guarantee when Tim went on, I
Uh,
guarantee you were. Even you say you didn't know how you were going to go on. You don't know what you're going to do nowadays.
right. I
I
was.
mean, that's
Yeah.
an example of the fears because, in fact, you had that person there for so long, with your support to support you, guide you, or be there as somebody to help you. And now that they're gone, you're like, I don't know what to do anymore on my own. And so a lot of people, there's that person there, and they're terrified to lose them
Mhm.
because now they don't know what to do because they always have somebody they could go to talk to.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
you gotta be willing to
True.
fight for what you love if you can.
Okay, I remembered what I was going to say a minute ago. Um, there was an expert, I think he was on TV or something, said the biggest reason people fail in a lot of things is because of fear. They won't go into business for themselves. They're scared. I know I have.
You have a fear of offending people.
Huh?
You have a fear of offending people.
I have a fear of
And that's a
offending.
phobia. I just don't know the name of it. That's an actual phobia.
You think I have a fear of offending? I don't like to offend people.
You need to go out of your way to avoid offending people. You won't
Okay.
even do a podcast this month with anything about women you love because you're afraid that what you got to say about them may offend people that know that people. I'm sorry,
Okay.
but you're afraid. That's a fear. Let's get that straight. You
Okay,
have a fear.
okay. I have a fear of offending people.
I'm just being honest.
I don't agree, but
I'm being
maybe I
honest.
do. I have told people have told me that I need to learn how to say no. But anyway,
You need to learn how to
job,
be yourself.
job promotions. Job promotions. A lot of times I wouldn't apply for a promotion when people say, Henry, you'd be great at that. I'm scared I wouldn't do a very good job. I'll just stay where I'm at. I wanted that security of my job. But anyway, uh, anyone that has any ideas or suggestions or good knowledge on how to overcome a fear, please text or email me, and I'll mention the next week's episode. And that would be henryberner@yahoo.com. And, any remarks you want to make on the show, or, you can put them there. And now, some childhood memories I had regarding the fears. I was scared of strangers. And, it's kind of changed. They used to say, don't talk to strangers. But at one time, kids were told, if something bad happens, go to a grown up, and that grown up might be a stranger. So now it's that I wouldn't know what to tell kids now.
No, now they tell you to go to a grown up that's an authority figure like a cop or paramedic,
Right.
as well, or a teacher that you trust. But I'm going to tell you right now, 90% of these teachers and cops you can't trust anymore.
Well, I know, but it is what it is.
Half of them are worse than the criminals you're trying to protect these kids from.
I was scared of the water when I was a kid. I just did not want to get in the water. And I was scared of the dark. I'm not scared of the dark now. I don't like the dark. I had to feel my way around. But I don't have that fear. But as a child, I was scared of the dark. That's why I was interested in that one person that sent something. I was asking how old she was, and you said it was a grown person. And I have met grown people who were scared of the dark. When we have a power failure here, when the electric goes out in the whole neighborhood, I find it kind of exciting, because you can get to like you're in a different world or something. But I'm not scared at all.
How about when the power goes off at the schools and you're sitting in the middle of school and you hear everyone scream as loud as they can?
I know.
And I'm just sitting there going, this is hilarious. Y'all are that scared of the dark? Oh my God,
Really?
this is funny.
Some people are, though. And another one, and I'm surprised no one mentioned this, but as a child, when we would have watermelon, and as a little child, you swallow one of the watermelon seeds, and all the grown-ups say, oh my gosh, a watermelon's going to grow in your belly. And you're like, no, I can't. But, of course, now that I'm a grown-up, I don't think that's true, is
No,
it?
the watermelon seeds actually do digest in the stomach acid, so they're not possible growing.
Oh, I'm so relieved.
Tomato seeds do not digest, though, so you can grow tomato seeds.
I don't like tomatoes. Childhood memories. So I guess we're ready to wrap up. You got anything?
Yeah, rather than be scared of eating watermelon seeds, be scared of eating tomato seeds. They will grow.
In your belly? I don't know about that. Anyway, thanks for watching or listening, whatever you did.
Oh, wait, I do have one because I did hear about this, and I found out it's real. The fear of having a plant growing out of your ears.
Really?
It actually happened. This dude was out camping, and this tree seed fell in his ear. He thought it came out. It actually got stuck, and he didn't know. and all of a sudden he started feeling this pain in his ear.
Oh, come
I can
on.
find the video and show it to you. They actually
No,
have it.
I'm
But
having trouble.
they turned around and they actually started growing because what it did got moisture and all the earwax in there became its nutrients. So it started going. He started feeling pain. So when they went in there, they pulled it out and they found a tree that was twisted up. That when they untwisted was this long. And they have videos of
I'm
them
waiting
removing
for
it.
the punchline.
No, this has really happened. They have videos of them removing it from his ear and everything.
I don't know if I believe that or not.
Look it up. Ear.
I'll check it out later.
Plant
But
grows
now
from man's ear.
do remember when we were kids and you go to wash up, wash behind your ears. Now that I'm grown up, I don't have to wash behind my ears, but I do because I want to.
Here's another fear. Humans eat on average a month 10 spiders while they're sleeping.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, I've seen people looking, kids' ears say, my gosh, go wash your ears. You could grow potatoes in there. Did you ever hear anyone say
I
that?
did grow potatoes in my ears in front of my mom.
All right. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching, listening. Comments about this episode or upcoming episodes are welcome and appreciated. Go to henryburner@yahoo.com and just say whatever you want to say.
Don't forget to like and follow.
Can't scare me. Henry's Chatterbox is planned to start every Friday between 3 and 3:30. Next week's topic is about clutter and how to deal with it. I can't stand clutter. Randy.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.
You know what to do now, do it.